On the deathbed of Fatima Az-Zahra, she spoke to Ali, alayhi salatu wasalam, and her words are recorded in Najl Balaga. She said, Ali, you know also that this is the last day of my life. I am happy and I am sad. Happy that my troubles will shortly be over and I shall meet my father. And I am sorry to part with you. Please, Ali, make note of what I say and do as I wish you to do. After me, you may marry anybody you like, but you must marry my cousin Yamama. She loves my children, and Hussein is very much attached to her. Let Fitna remain with you even after her marriage, if she so desires. She was more than a mere servant to me. I loved her like my daughter. Ali, bury me in the night, and do not let those who have been so cruel to me attend my burial. Let my death not dishearten you. You have to serve Islam and humanity for a long time to come. Let not my sufferings embitter your life. Promise me, Ali. Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasallam said, yes, Fatima, I promise. Lady Fatima continued, Ali, I know how you love my children, but be very careful of Hussein. He loves me dearly, and he will miss me sadly. Be a mother to him. Till my recent illness, he used to sleep on my chest. He's already missing it. And do not weep, Ali. I know with the rough outward appearance what a tender heart you possess. You have already borne too much and will have to bear more. Farewell, Ali. Say goodbye to me. Sorrow had choked Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam, and his words were mixed with tears at this point, and he said to Fatima, he said, goodbye, Fatima. And hearing this, she said, may the merciful Lord help you to bear these sorrows and these sufferings patiently. Now let me be alone with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And saying this, she turned towards her prayer rug, and she prostrated before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When after a little while, Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasallam entered into the room, he found her still in the position of the sujood. But the soul had departed to join with her Holy Father, our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. In the realm of grace, mercy, and might, she died very young. Imam Ali alayhi salam says, a flower nipped in the bud. It was from paradise, and it went to paradise, but has left its fragrance in my mind. Some reports have mentioned that when the body was lowered into the grave by Imam Ali alayhi salam, in the grave appeared two hands of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And with the voice addressing Imam Ali, it said, come on, Ali, return to me this part of myself to me. It is reported that the Imam shed tears and responded to the voice by saying, I am ashamed before you, Ya Rasulullah, because I took Fatima from you sound in body, but I am now returning her to you with broken ribs. Fatima Az-Zahra was the first of martyrs among the Ahlul Bayt. Her and her son, Muhsin, were the first to fall victim to the actions committed by the hands of those so-called Muslims who disobeyed Allah and His Prophet and surrendered to the mind control of the shaitan, a'udhu billah. Fatima Az-Zahra alayhi salam once stood in front of her father's grave, and she spoke to her father and she said, oh father, after you fell on me such miseries, that had they fallen on bright days, the bright days would have turned into the darkest nights. Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam buried her in the middle of the night, and no one knows the place where she's buried. When the Imam returned back home after burying Fatima, he gathered his children, Al-Hassan, he gathered Zainab and Kulthum, though he didn't see Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam. He asked the women that were in the house, where is Hussein? Though no one knew where Hussein was. And they all got up to look for Imam Hussein, little Hussein. And they found him in Fatima Az-Zahra's room. And he had his prayer rug laid open. And his mother's prayer rug laid open as well. Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam asked him, he said, "Oh my son Al-Hussein, what are you doing here?" And he answered, "Oh my father, I'm waiting for my mother so that I can pray the night prayer with her." Then Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam and everyone that was present in the room began to cry at that moment. All of the Ahlul Bayt, Az-Zahra, Imam Ali, Al-Hassan, and Al-Hussein were all killed and buried in tragically strange ways. Az-Zahra was buried at night and no one knows her whereabouts. Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam was also buried at night, and only Imam Hassan and Hussein knew his burial place. For Imam Hassan, his janazah was hit with more than 100 arrows. Ahlul Bayt and Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam wanted to bury him near his grandfather Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Though the one that was riding the donkey and Marwan ordered the people to hit Imam Hussein's janazah with rocks and to hit Imam Hussein with arrows. Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam was killed and his body was cut into pieces so that even Zainab, his own sister, didn't recognize him. She asked herself as she looked at her brother's body, "Are you Hussein, my brother?" Now think about how these disbelievers cut the body of our holy Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam, that even his own sister could not recognize him or identify him. And all of the tragedies of the Ahlul Bayt, they break our hearts, brothers and sisters. The ones that killed Fatima knew that the one who visits her grave will not enter into the hellfire. So they went to Baqiyah and they wanted to dig up all of the graves to find out where Fatima is buried. Then Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam, he wore his shield and he took his sword. And he said, "I swear to Allah, whoever digs one of these graves, I will cut his head off." Then Abu Bakr, Umar, and the rest of them all hid behind Al-Abbas, the uncle of the Prophet. And they said, "Oh Abbas, save us from Ali." Al-Abbas went near Ali and hugged him and kissed him on his head. Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam then said, "Oh my uncle Abbas, they have killed my wife. I had patience. They made my children orphans. I had patience. They killed my infant Muhsin. I had patience. And now they want to know where her grave is? I swear that it is the wish of Fatima that no one knows of her grave, and I will secure her wishes." With that, brothers and sisters, I would just say, salawat.